So the preparation is almost the same that we did in second year as complex cavity preparation. Only slight difference is you shouldn't have any undercut area because you're going to load it, so you shouldn't create any undercut. So all the margin should be slightly divergent, or it should be a 90-degree angle. Okay, so that is the difference between the direct and indirect restoration, otherwise not much difference. So for preparation we're going to use a cylinder bar, so you can use also any other bar, but preferably cylinder bar, so that we don't create any undercut. So I'm not using water for the video purpose. So preparation will be simply, you make the same way as you make for the complex cavity. So remove part of the cut, moving one full cut, similar to class 2 model. Around 2 millimeter thick minimum. That is. Make sure no undercut. Maintaining the same depth. I'm going to make the occipital extension like dovetail. That usually we do. So this is somehow from the so now depth is okay. We almost get more than 2 millimeter. So, and make sure there is no undercut. It should be slightly divergent, not convergent. Same way it will go for the proximal box. This should be divergent, slightly divergent, not convergent. This is the proximal reduction. Also we get nearly more than 2 millimeter. I'll add a little bit more on the proximal side. The bar I am using is 2 millimeter thick. So once I get the same depth as the bar, so I'll achieve the height. So now it is almost 2 millimeter or more than 2 millimeter. So done. I'll do a finishing touch inside the dovetail now. The dovetail here, it shouldn't have any undercut within the cavity. So we're going to hold the bar in such a way that we don't create any undercut. So now it is smooth enough, the floor. Okay, so let's take a look how the preparation looked like. Still there is 2 points, you can see there is little bit dip. So I'm going to use the inverted cone bar one more time to make sure there is no such a bump inside the cavity, especially here. Although most of it can be covered with the cement, Make sure if you are using the inverted cone bar not to touch the wall. That will create unnecessary undercut and you would be not able to cement it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, still I have small bump, but that is okay. This much it will not affect much. So this is my preparation is almost done. So I have a minimum reduction 2 millimeter from the proximal side. Same I have reduced from the labial side, and no undercuts. That is the main importance, that you shouldn't create any undercut. So next we will start the cementation process. So now we're done with the preparation. What we're going to do, we're going to use this modeling wax to create a layer that's going to be replaced by the cement. So we need to create a thin layer that we're going to replace with the cement. So I'm going to take wax and put a small layer on the all over the surface where we're going to replace with the cement. Then we're going to do for build up. So let's start. So I'm going to take a torch, make it warm, then take a bit of compost wax and add on the surface. So slowly I'm going to melt. So you can use the condenser, small head condenser, but make sure this one is not too thick. If you put too thick layer of wax, then the restoration would be not fitting in the cavity. So we have to minimal the thickness of the wax. So take small amount at a time. Put into the cavity. The alternative way is you can take a little bit large amount of wax, spread in the cavity. Okay. So now you can see there is some pink color which is appearing in the cavity. So I have to make sure this wax is spreading. So you can see there is a very thin layer of wax in the cavity. So I have to make sure there is uniform thickness of the wax all over the cavity. So simply first in the wall, make sure the wax is melt. Okay, then the same way on the floor. Okay. Then simply just touch one time, so the wax would be spread nicely. Okay, so done. This is the coating with the wax. So we coat all over. Here you can see there is a little bit gap, this area. Okay, so this preparation now nicely covered with the wax. So this wax will replace our cement. Okay, so next we're going to do the build up. Next I'm going to build up the composite. Okay, so you can take any composite that we use in the lab. Okay, so you can build up with any composite, but in the clinical scenario usually we have a special type of composite that is used for the indirect restoration or post and sorry, the core materials which is little bit strong. So for me, I'm going to use the bulk technique. I'm not going to do cast build up technique for the convenience, but you can use the cast build up technique. Okay, so I build up the composite. Now I'm going to light cure. So if you are using the specific materials for the only that need additional cure, so this one I'm using regular composite. I'm not going to put additional furnace, but for the posterior composite, that is more posterior composite that we use for the inlay only, they need additional furnace to be cured in 100-degree temperature for certain minutes. But this one regular composite we're not going to put in the furnace, but we make sure it polymerizes nicely, so we can extend the polymerization time, and we can polymerize from different direction, like from occlusal surface. As it is outside patient mouth, we're going to do it in the cast, so you can make sure from all direction the composite polymerize very nicely. Okay, so now I have to remove this one. Simply I have to find the joining point where that restoration is joined. If I put wax nicely, I can use the tip of the explorer to find the margin. Any point in the preparation, especially from the margin, okay, you have to make a point, and then you can use the spoon excavator and just remove. So this is my restoration, that indirect restoration that I prepared. Okay, so this is the occlusal anatomy, okay, that we created. Okay. So let's set it like this. So the entire restoration should come out without any breakage. Okay, so this is my indirect restoration. So what we're going to do in clinical scenario, now this we're going to cement in the patient mouth. Okay, however, for your case, you're going to cement it in this model. So same way, what we have to do now, we put the wax layer, we have to remove the wax. So you can take a spoon excavator, clean the wax that you will put. Okay, so the wax layer should come out. All the wax, so you would be able to do the cementation. Do we have alcohol gauze? So once we remove the wax, then we have to clean. You can use the alcohol gauze to clean the cavity. Make sure there is no residue of the wax. Then dry the cavity. Additionally, what you can do, you can also apply some HN. You can apply HN to clean the surface. So now, if I want to clean, I can use the HN. So I'm going to apply the HN. in real patient also we do need to do the HN. Okay, also I'm going to do the HN on the back side of the preparation. So that means the part we're going to attach, I'm going to do the HN for both to make sure there is no debris. But if you making composite base, ceramic base, depending on that we have to use the silent coupling agent or silanase, sometimes sandblasting, micro etcher, anything can be used. So both we're going to etch, then according to the luting cement we have to follow the steps. So now after HN I'm going to rinse and dry both my onlay and the tooth structure. Okay, so HN done, and then rinse and dry. So next step we're going to mix the cement and apply. So whatever cement we have, we're going to follow the instruction for that one. So I'm going to show you how to cement it. So now we get our glass ionomer cement. So you already know how to manipulate this one. So we're going to make in the sealer consistency, cement consistency. So we're going to make it bit thin consistency, not too thick consistency. Make it a little bit more powder is to so I add more to make it suitable for the luting. So I think it's okay, even it is a little bit thin, no problem. So next my sealer is ready, or the cement is ready for the cementing. What I'm going to do is use this cement. So I'm going to use this cement to place on the back of the prosthesis. So this is the back of the crown or the onlay. So I'm going to simply place don't put too much cement here. So make sure you are using right amount of cement. Let's spread nicely. So cement is spread nicely. Now using the tweezer. Okay, so this is how we're going to put the prosthesis inside. Okay, so my prosthesis is ready. Simply put and then press. So in real patient scenario you can put some gauze, and then ask the patient to bite. So in your case here you can ask and you don't have anything to bite, so simply you can press with the tweezer. So the excess material will come from the side. So using any brush or anything, so you can remove those excessive materials. So just simply remove the excessive materials from the margin. Once it get complete set, then you can do a polishing. So for me it's okay, done. We remove the excessive materials.